Today, students, we are going to learn lesson 10 from English Bal Bharati textbook for standard 5. 3 sacks of rice. This video was made just for you. Do remember to like, share and subscribe. 3 sacks of rice. You may have heard many stories about three brothers, isn't it? There are so many stories with three brothers. And in most of these stories, usually what happens is, usually two of them, that is, normally the elder ones are strong. So they show three brothers in the story, and out of those three brothers, always the elder two, the two elder ones are strong, clever, and unkind. So they are always shown as they are very strong, they are very clever, they are very rich. All those things you will find in most of the stories. And what they do is they laugh at the youngest one, the younger one, the third brother, because he is too simple and soft hearted. So normally all these things, usually in most of the stories you will find it like that, there are three brothers, and the elder one are strong, clever, rich, unkind, okay, and they will always, ridicule, they will laugh at the younger one, make fun of him. Okay, why? Because he is too simple and soft hearted. Soft hearted means he's very kind, he's very simple, he's very good to everybody, so they will be unkind to him, they will make him do all kinds of work. So this is what we find in most of the stories. Our story also has three brothers who lived in a small town. So, the story which we are just going to read, this story also has three brothers and they lived in a small town. But the story is a little different. But they were all three of them honest, kind, and hardworking. So, it was not like the usual story where the two brothers were, unkind to the younger brother. No, here we find that all the three brothers were not only honest, they even kind, and they were hard working. They worked very hard. The elder one ran a shop. Now, ran a shop means he took care of a shop. That is, he may be having a shop and he may be selling things from that shop. So, he ran a shop. The middle one was a priest. So, he was the middle one, was the second brother, was a priest, and that means he was a pandit. Okay, so he was a priest, and the youngest one had just finished his education. So, the younger brother was very young and he had just finished his studies. So he was still very young. He had not yet started working. He had started taking up odd jobs to earn some money and to learn a trade. So odd jobs means small jobs here and there. Okay, somebody will tell him, work for me, do this for me, that for me. Okay, so he would do, those are called odd jobs, not one particular job. Okay, why do people do that? So that when you are just young and you're learning things, so it will help you to gain experience and understand various ways of doing work, and where your skill lies, where your talent lies, it will help you where your interest lies. So when you do different kinds of jobs, you understand, okay, where it will be very helpful for you to do a job where you are interested, where you can do well. Okay, so that is what he did. He had started taking up odd jobs to earn some money. So when you do small jobs, you get money. Okay, to earn some money and to learn a trade. So to learn a trade, to learn a skill, to understand which job is good. Now, all three of them were very fond of their mother. Fond means loved their mother very much. Okay. Why? Because she had worked hard to bring up the three of them after the sudden death of their father. So, their father had suddenly died, and so she was left alone. So, she had worked hard and she had. To bring up the three of them. Bring up means to raise them, to take care of them as they were growing up. So she had to work very hard to bring them up. One day, their father's friend visited the mother. Okay, so one of the father's friend came and visited the mother, and he said, "Sister, you know that I have a very prosperous business." So, prosperous means very successful. business that earns a lot of money. It's called a prosperous business. So he called her, he addressed her as sister, and he said, "You know that I have a very prosperous business. But now I am getting old." So he was also getting old, isn't it? And my only daughter means he had just one daughter, and my only daughter is of marriageable age. What is a marriageable age? Age when a person is is able to get married. Okay, so that is called a marriageable age. So he says my only daughter is of marriageable age, and I am looking for a son-in-law. Who is a son-in-law? The person your daughter marries is called a son-in-law. So he says I want a person to marry my son, and I'm looking for a son-in-law who would be a good husband to my daughter and who would also handle my business well. So he says not only that he should be a good husband, he should be a good person to my daughter, but we should be able to handle my business. Handle means take care of my business very well. So he was looking for two qualities in his son in law. Remember that he told that he had his only daughter. So he wanted to hand over all the business to a person who was able to, who would have the ability to do business. So he said that I am looking for a person who will be not only a good husband but also who will be able to handle my business. And then he further says that I like all your sons. Remember that this lady had three sons, isn't it? So he says, I like all of them. Okay. And if you permit means with your permission. Okay. If you allow. So if you permit, I'll marry my daughter to one of them. So he's saying any one of them, I'll marry my daughter to them. But before that, I have a plan. So he says, but before I decide whom she should get married to, I have a plan. And what did he do? He discussed the plan with her and she agreed quite readily. Okay, so he does not disclose the plan to anybody else, but he only told the plan to this woman and he discussed. Okay, so discuss means told all the details about it, about the plan with her, and she agreed quite readily. Quite readily. Readily means very, very easily she agreed to this plan. The next day, the friend went to each of the three brothers one by one. So, after discussing the plan with the mother, what he did the next day, he went to each of them separately. Three brothers, they did not know the other. Okay, so each of them one by one. He gave them each a sack of rice. So, to the first brother, he gave one sack of rice. To the second brother, he gave another sack of rice. And to the third brother, he gave the third sack of rice. So, each of them, he gave a sack of rice and said, my dear boy, I am going away for a few months for some necessary work. So he says, I'm going away for few months. Okay, not just few days, but few months. So quite a long time. And he also further told them that please look after this sack of rice till I come back. So he says, take care of this rice. Okay, this sack, there is rice in this. So take care of this rice till I come back. So keep it safely with you all. The friend went away. Okay, so after giving them each a sack of rice, the friend went away, and many months passed, but he did not return. He told them, isn't it? He's coming back in a few months, but now few months means not 1 or 2 or 3 months. He went away for many months and he did not return. It was nearly a year before he came back. So it was about to complete one whole year. At that time, he returned back. And what he did is, first, he visited the eldest brother first. Okay, so he went to that eldest brother's house and he visited him. And the eldest brother welcomed him and gave him a small purse full of money. So the eldest brother welcomed him with open arms and he says, yes, uncle, come, welcome. And he gave them a small purse full of money. And he told them, uncle, you had left a sack of rice with me. After a few months, I was worried that it may get spoilt, isn't it? The rice can get spoilt if you don't, take care of it. So, because lying there for so many months, it is lying. like as it is. Okay, you have learnt it in science also, how to take care of your food, what are the different ways of preservation. So if you don't take care of the food, it will get spoiled, isn't it? You can't keep grains forever and ever and ever. So he was worried that it will get spoiled. Therefore, I sold the rice to my customers. So he says that he sold the rice to whom? To his customers. Now remember that he used to take care of a shop, isn't it? So there would be lots of customers who would come and daily he would sell things, no? So instead of spoiling, making the rice spoil and it would be a waste, isn't it? So he thought of a clever idea and he said, let me sell it to the customers and get some money. And here's the money I got. Please accept it. So he did not keep the money for himself. He was an honest man. Okay. And he was hardworking. So he realized that this rice will get spoiled over here. So let me sell it. And at least I know some money will be there. And when uncle returns, I'll give it to him. And that's what he did. When that uncle returned, his father's friend returned, he gave him the money. And he says, please accept it. It is your money. Thank you, my boy. You are such an honest person. So, that friend, the father's friend, he accepted that money and he said, yes, thank you very much, my child. You are an honest person. You're such an honest person that you returned, you gave me the money, you did whatever you felt best. That is, sold the rice instead of allowing it to get spoiled. So, you did not allow it to get spoiled. Instead, you sold it and you earned money, and now you're giving that money to me. So good of you, so honest of you. Then the friend went to see the middle brother, who was a priest. So the friend, the father's friend, the old man, the uncle, went to see the middle brother, that is the second brother. Remember, he was a priest. So he was a priest, a pandit. The priest greeted him with joy and affection. So he too greeted him. Greeted him means welcomed him with joy and affection. He was not very sad to welcome him. He was very happy with joy, happiness and affection. Affection means love. With love, joy, happiness, he welcomed the uncle. And he said, Uncle, remember you had left a sack of rice with me a year ago? I had kept it for many months, but then I was worried that it may get spoiled. Okay, so he reminds the uncle and he says, you left your sack of rice with me nearly a year ago. Do you remember that? I had kept it for many months. I did take care of it for many months. But then I was worried that it may get spoiled. So this second brother was also very worried that this rice, if not taken care of, it will get spoiled. Okay. So what he did? He says that I distributed the rice among the poor in your name. Distributed means to give to everyone. Isn't it? In class also sometimes you distribute papers, you distribute books, you distribute other things, maybe sweets or chocolates or things like that. No, so he distributed that rice among the poor people. So he did not keep the rice for himself, and he was a pandit, he was a priest. So what he did is he gave the rice to the poor people in your name. In your name means the priest did not say this rice belonged to me. He told the poor people whom the rice belonged to. Okay, so he said that this rice belongs to this uncle, and so I'm giving it to you in his name. They all blessed you for satisfying their hunger. So, whenever you help someone, they will always bless you. And so, you should always help many people and take as many blessings as you can. No, usually when we meet our elders, we take their blessings, isn't it? So, not only our elders, but we should do good work, charitable work, and help others. And when we help people, they are happy and they bless us. So we should collect as many blessings as possible. So here he says that they all blessed you for satisfying their hunger. Satisfying means they poor people, they don't have food to eat. So here he gave them rice, so they were able to you know eat food, and so they were not hungry. So satisfy their hunger. However, I did that without your permission. Okay, isn't it? He did not take permission for it. No, uncle had told to take care of the rice. He did not tell to distribute it among the poor. But since it was getting spoiled, he was worried that it may get spoiled. So he had distributed it to the poor people. So he says, I have done this without your permission. I'm sorry about it. And I am willing to pay you back for the rice. So, whatever is the cost of the rice, I will pay it to you. Okay. So, because you told me to keep it, but I did not do that, I gave it to the poor. But doesn't matter. Whatever is the value of the rice, I will give it to you. But the uncle says, no, my boy, you acted wisely and kindly. You did the right thing. Okay, wise means to do something very intelligently. So you said acted. Acted means you did that work very wisely and kindly. You were very kind in helping the poor. The blessings that I got from the poor people are enough for me. So he's saying the blessings that these poor people gave me, that is only the price for the rice. Okay, that is enough for me. You don't have to pay me anything. Okay, I got my price. I got my whatever shares that I had to get. So he says the blessing that I got from the poor people are enough for me. Please don't even think about the money anymore. So he says he pleads with him, say, don't think about money. I don't want the money. Okay, so don't even think about the money. He says, I got the price for the rice in the form of blessings from the poor. When the friend went to visit the youngest son, he too welcomed him with love and respect. So now the friend went to the youngest son, the third son. Remember that he had given each son a bag of rice. So after meeting the first two sons, the elder one and the middle one, he now went to the third son, and this third son also welcomed him with love and showed respect because he was an old uncle. He was a friend of his father. And but he said that he had a confession to make. Okay, confession means to tell about something. Okay, that you have done this. So that is called a confession. So he says, I have a confession to make. I have to tell you something. The sack of rice was lying with me for a long time. So, yes, the sack of rice that you gave me, it was here with me for a very long time. Okay. But then I had an idea. He says, I got one idea. I often go to a neighboring farm to help with the work. Remember that the son was not very well employed, but he used to go and do odd jobs, isn't it? He had just finished his education, and so he used to go to a number of people to do odd jobs, to learn the trade, and to earn money also. So he used to go to the neighboring farm to help with the work. Now, farm means when you grow crops, there is lot of work, lot of people have to work. Okay, so he used to go there to work. And I borrowed an unused plot of land from the farmer. So he says, I borrowed. Borrowed means to take it for some time and then you have to return it. So what did he borrow? He borrowed an unused plot of land. Plot of land means it's a piece of land, okay, a part of land that was unused. It was not being used. It was not, nobody was growing any crops over there. So he took that land from the farmer. Now he did not own the land, he had to borrow it from the farmer. And he says that I exchanged the sack of rice for paddy and sowed the paddy in the field. So he took that sack of rice and he exchanged for paddy. What is a paddy? Paddy is the rice with the husk, that is with the covering. So it is a full seed which the farmers sow to get more crops. So that is what he had, this rice. Now rice we can't put it in the soil, so we require paddy. So he exchanged it. He gave the rice and he took paddy instead. And what he did, he sowed the paddy in the plot of land. He had borrowed the plot of land, no, remember? And so he sowed it. Fortunately, what is fortunately? Fortunately means with very, very great luck. Okay. Fortunately, the crop grew well and yielded 25 sacks of rice. Yielded means gave that much. Okay. So the the crops grew, the rice grew very well and yielded 25 sacks of rice, isn't it? When crops grow, you have seen, no? One crop can give you so many seeds. Okay, so he got 25 sacks of rice. I have kept back 5 of the sacks and sold 20 of them. Now he too can't keep the rice forever, no? So what he did, he sold 25. Okay, and he got the money. and 5 sacks he kept. And now he says, here's the money. If you allow, I would like to keep a part of it as my share, considering the labor and money I spent to get it all done. Okay, so now what did he say is, he says, here's the money. Whatever he sold, no, he sold 20 bags of rice. So with that money, he did not keep for himself. He gave it to the uncle. And but he says that, please, please allow me to take part of my share, so my share, because he had worked so hard, isn't it? So he says, part of my share, considering means thinking about, please think about the labor means the work that he put in. Okay, so effort that we put in is called labor. So the labor and the money, because he had to spend a lot of money, because I told you, taking care of farm is not easy, because you have to keep so many people to work under you, you have to pay them money. So he says that I have, spent so much of the labor and money I spent to get it all done. So all this I have done. Okay, I have spent, not only I have worked hard, but also I have spent some of my money. So I will want to keep that part of the money which I have spent. Okay, so please give it to me. So what did the a wide smile spread on the friend's face, the old uncle's face. A wide smile. So he was smiling, very broad smile. He had found his future son in law. Okay, I told you, no, he was waiting to get his daughter married to one of the sons, and so he wanted to decide which son would be the best one for his daughter. So he wanted two qualities from that person. Not only he should be, you know, looking after my daughter, taking care of my daughter very well as he should be able to take care of my business. So why do you think he gave this, he chose this youngest son as his son-in-law? Why do you think that he did not consider the first son? That first son was also very hardworking. He was also very honest, isn't it? He sold the rice, got the money, and the second son also was very, very honest, isn't it? He was very helpful. He helped the poor, and he was ready to pay the money to the. So why did he choose the third one? Okay, because the third one did a very intelligent job, isn't it? The elder two just sold the sack of rice, one sack of rice, or they gave it to the poor. They did not think of making, growing the business, growing things. Okay, so here he grew, and from one sack of rice he was able to make 25 sacks of rice. So you can imagine, as he, works harder and harder, he can be more prosperous, isn't it? He can be successful, like just like this old uncle. So that is what the qualities he was looking for, and that was the qualities he found in the youngest son, and that is why he chose the youngest son as his son-in-law. I do hope you all enjoyed this very beautiful and inspiring story. To check your answers to all the textual questions and for free worksheets, visit our website at www.jkacademypro.com. You'll get the link in the description box below. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe.